Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. It's V-Day, maybe D-Day. But it's done. 50 pages, lawsuit. We're going for the jugular. Nobody has gone up against the church because the church owns everybody. And I should know, I was Mormon for almost 50 years. And so this amended filing is now in the conspiracy realm of U.S. Code 1985, and which means I got to put in that I was a federal officer at the time of the church having me wrongly arrested, to have me disappeared from society. I'm not gonna read you the nature of the case because you'll be able to read it online. This will go public. It's going to be a public document, so you'll be able to read it yourself and download a PDF. Just go on the government's website, Travis Wayne Goodsell v. the Corporation of the President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And the nature of the case is very long. Has to be, because I can't put it in otherwise. There's important information that needed to be put in there. Alright, so I start out with RICO, Section 4 of RICO Code 1961. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 counts under that one count, or one code, and then counts under Code 2, or under 2. This is for treason. I told you, Church of Jesus Christ is bad. Criminal organization. They're committing treason. And so I quote the statute, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of treason. Counts under 3, war crimes. Can't have treason without war crimes. And so this statute is long. Okay. And then we have 1. Count 1 is long. Very long. Count 2, which is also long, because there were lots of crimes involved in this, under the war crimes. Okay, counts under 4, back to RICO. This is the general RICO now. It's not the specific Section 4. And so the whole RICO thing is listed out. And it's very long. See, if you don't know about RICO, RICO is how you take down a criminal organization. And thus, it's essential in a lawsuit against the church. Oh goodness. All the way to here? Yep. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 counts under RICO. And then 5. Bigamy. Yes. The church is no longer practicing polygamy as they've correctly described to the public. They're now practicing bigamy. Oops. And so I have the 2 counts with my own experience on how the church has forced me to practice bigamy. Alright, and then 6. Deprivation of rights under color of law, U.S. Code 242. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on that one. And then 7, U.S. Code 247, damage to religious property, obstruction of persons in the free exercise of religious belief. And here's the main cause of this for these other crimes is that the church pretends to be a religious organization. They've merged their corporate empire with the religion, and they call it one and the same. So you can't touch them because of the First Amendment. Well, no, can't use religion as a front for criminal activity. And in this particular case, with me, I was raised to believe in the religion of Joseph Smith, not Brigham Young, Joseph Smith. So I live my life after the manner of Joseph Smith's religion as I thought. Turns out the church punished me for that, and I've got the documentation to show it. Specifically, it's because I was able to translate ancient records, ancient writings. I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. I deciphered petroglyphs from Egyptian. I'm the guy. I'm the last survivor of those who were a part of the Zeitgeist production. And so I'm the last scholar that's able to continue on with that work, and was the one who recognized the Old Testament Bible stories coming from the Egyptian records. Whereas, if you know D.M. Murdoch, the late D.M. Murdoch, she was able to, I talk about the New Testament stories, but she never developed the theory into an actual comparison. I've done that with the Old Testament, and we'll have to pick up her New Testament stuff as well. And so that's where this code comes in, is that the church is denying me my free exercise of the religion as I assumed it was of Joseph Smith. And remember, they claim to be the true successors of Joseph Smith, and such forth and forever, amen, amen. If you don't know the church hymns, you're not going to understand that one. And so there's 4 counts on that one. And then hate crimes. Yes, if they're denying me my religious practice, guess what? They're also involved in hate crimes. And so, yeah, there's several hate crimes. Count 1 is the coded hate speech that Mormons use. Yes, Mormons, you use coded hate speech. And 2 is white supremacist hate speech. Yes, Mormons, you're white supremacists. Count 3, abusive speech. See, Mormons, you're not good people. The church has taught you to be corrupt. And count 4. Remember how the church has that manual, how to be self-reliant? The church wants everybody to be self-reliant. That's a hate crime. Because the church is supposed to be giving assistance, not telling everybody they're not going to give assistance, and that people need to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. And yes, I was using a term that's is commonly still used today to refer to blacks to get out of their slavery from the oppression of white men. So that's the case. So lots of counts 50 pages. And I could have done more. I've been a witness to far more. But this is not a criminal lawsuit. It's forced to be a civil lawsuit because all of the people who are required to prosecute this as a criminal lawsuit are loyalists to the church. And you Mormons know what I mean by that. You go through the temple and you give a loyalty oath to the church to protect and defend. And that's what the government is doing as they cover up the crimes of the church. So, can't do that. The church has to fall. They cannot be allowed their criminal enterprise any longer. And, the financial scams alone are horrifying. Forcing Mormons to pay tithing in order to receive the temple rituals, which are essential for the afterlife. You have to pay. You are forced to pay. And if you don't pay, you don't get an afterlife. That's a crime. That's priestcraft. And the Book of Mormon is the only place where priestcraft is defined. Isn't that interesting? And then the pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes are where a person at the head has recruits, and those recruits get recruits who get recruits who get recruits who get recruits, and the money all goes to the top guy. Oh, yeah, that missionary work. So that covenant path that Nelson's talking about, pay your tithing. That's what he's saying. Gather in the elect. It's a time of the gathering. Recruitment in the pyramid scheme. It's all about money when they talk, because that's the system they set up. And so it's not a religion. It's a front for a criminal organization. It's that simple. We all know it, Mormons, don't we? But we just didn't want to admit it because, they're the true church of God, right? It's not the same church as I was punished for. So, there it is. And maybe by Wednesday you'll be able to find it online. They might be able to have the information input into the files. So we'll see.